Missing here is Christina Karam.
He was making bizarre claims, like he was Diddy's sex slave, and that Diddy had forced him to have sex with his girl.
The unfolding saga surrounding Sean Diddy Combs' trial has taken a dramatic turn, with allegations and speculation pointing to a web of influential figures whose absence from the narrative raises questions about the true scope of the case. Commentators like Candace Owens and Theo Von have brought attention to what they describe as critical omissions, powerful individuals tied to Diddy's career who seem to have vanished from public scrutiny. These missing names, they argue, could hold the key to understanding the broader context of the allegations against Diddy, potentially reshaping the entire case. As the trial progresses, the silence surrounding these figures has sparked widespread curiosity about who they are, why they're absent, and whether their involvement could unravel a larger story of influence, control, and complicity in the entertainment industry. The allegations against Diddy are severe, ranging from claims of sexual misconduct to involvement in illicit activities. One particularly striking set of accusations comes from a figure named Jonathan Audie, who claimed in 2018 that he was coerced into being a sex slave for Diddy and his then-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. Audie alleged that Diddy forced him into sexual encounters with both himself and Cassie, resulting in him contracting an STD, which he later sued over. He also made sensational claims about Diddy's ties to a secretive group called the Black Bull, which he described as a branch of the Illuminati responsible for orchestrating Diddy's fame and wealth. According to Audie, Diddy was involved in discussions about a hip-hop agenda that involved moving drugs across the United States on behalf of federal authorities. While these claims initially seemed outlandish, some have gained credibility over time, particularly after Cassie's allegations against Diddy were substantiated and details about the drug pink cocaine emerged in lawsuits, aligning with Audie's earlier statements. Candace Owens has amplified these claims on her podcast, suggesting that the trial is not just about Diddy but involves a broader network of influential figures who have been conspicuously absent from media coverage and legal proceedings. She argues that these individuals, executives, industry insiders, and power players, played significant roles in Diddy's career and personal life but are now being shielded from scrutiny. Owens has questioned why these figures, who were once prominently associated with Diddy's billion-dollar ventures and cultural milestones, are suddenly invisible. She points to specific executives tied to major record labels and entertainment companies who profited from Diddy's projects, asking why they aren't being asked to account for their roles behind closed doors. According to Owens, this selective silence is deliberate, possibly orchestrated to protect reputations or larger business interests. Owens' podcast highlighted one individual in particular, an executive she claims has been a long-standing force in Diddy's career. Without naming them outright, she suggested this person holds crucial information that could shift the narrative of the trial. She described the situation as a layered story involving movers and shakers across industries, not just one man facing legal consequences. The absence of these figures, Owens argues, could indicate efforts to shield them from scrutiny, raising questions about whether justice can be fully served without their inclusion. She also hinted that others might have more to say about these missing names, setting the stage for comedian Theo Von to enter the conversation with his own perspective. Theo Von, known for his candid and often humorous takes, added fuel to the fire on his podcast by echoing Owens' concerns. While his tone was lighter, his comments carried weight, suggesting that certain individuals connected to Diddy are deliberately staying out of the spotlight. Vaughn spoke vaguely about a power player who has quietly influenced deals and trends in the entertainment world, someone whose ties to Diddy have gone largely unexamined. He described these figures as operating like shadows, moving discreetly to avoid attention. Vaughn's remarks, while less research-driven than Owens, resonated with audiences due to his outsider perspective as a comedian with access to entertainment circles. He recalled hearing rumors about deals that were hushed up and problems that mysteriously disappeared, implying that these missing names might hold answers to long-standing questions. One name that has surfaced in connection to these allegations is Christina Karam, described in lawsuits as a key figure in Diddy's orbit. According to Little Rod's lawsuit, Courtroom was allegedly involved in supplying drugs and facilitating illicit activities at Diddy's parties. The lawsuit claims she was responsible for keeping Diddy under the influence, specifically with a drug referred to as pink cocaine, Despite her alleged centrality to these events, Courtroom has seemingly disappeared from public view with little trace of her online presence. Similarly, the lawsuit names Lucian Grange, a powerful music executive, as someone who frequently attended Diddy's parties and allegedly had private meetings with him. Grange's absence from the narrative has raised eyebrows, especially given his long-standing influence in the industry. Another figure mentioned is Fahim Mohammed, Diddy's head of security, who is described as a fixer capable of making problems disappear. Mohammed's past role as Michael Jackson's head of security, combined with his presence in Lil Rod's lawsuit, adds another layer of intrigue to the case. The allegations don't stop there. Lil Rod's lawsuit also references a tech employee responsible for managing Diddy's surveillance systems, including cameras that allegedly recorded incriminating footage. This individual, like others, has faded from discussion, leaving questions about what those tapes might reveal. The lawsuit further describes a disturbing incident in which Diddy and his son allegedly shot a man in a bathroom, with Mohammed stepping in to handle the aftermath by coordinating with law enforcement to misreport the incident as a drive-by shooting. These claims paint a picture of a sophisticated network capable of covering up serious crimes, with key players now conspicuously absent from the trial's focus. The media's reluctance to pursue these connections has only deepened the mystery. While Diddy remains the central figure in coverage, the lack of attention on these other names stands out, especially given their documented ties to his career. Some argue this is typical for high-profile cases, where the spotlight naturally falls on the main defendant. However, others, including Owens, suggest that powerful PR teams and industry relationships may be working to suppress these stories. Large companies and influential figures often have the resources to shape narratives, redirecting attention to safer angles or burying inconvenient details. An anonymous entertainment journalist noted that the industry decides which stories are safe to tell, and these missing names may be too risky to touch due to their connections to major media outlets. This selective coverage has legal implications as well. If these missing figures are brought into the trial, whether as witnesses or subjects of investigation, it could broaden the case's scope, potentially implicating a larger network of individuals and institutions. Legal analysts point out that introducing new names could complicate the prosecution's narrative, which has so far focused on Diddy as the primary actor. Defense attorneys might seize on these connections to argue that Diddy was part of a larger system, diluting his individual responsibility. Conversely, prosecutors could use these leads to expand their investigation, potentially uncovering new evidence or witnesses. Either way, the absence of these names adds complexity to an already intricate case, influencing public perception and possibly even jury opinions. Behind the scenes, Diddy is reportedly struggling to manage the growing storm. Sources close to him describe a man frustrated by the traction these narratives are gaining, particularly Owens' pointed accusations. He allegedly views her claims as a strategic attack on his credibility, one that threatens the carefully crafted image he's maintained as a mogul. His legal team is said to be urging him to focus on the case's facts, but the media buzz and public speculation make that difficult. Theo Von's comments, while less direct, have amplified the scrutiny, resonating with audiences who sense there's more to the story. Diddy's frustration is compounded by the surreal reality that a political commentator and a comedian are shaping public opinion about his case, a situation he finds unfair given his decades-long control over his brand. The broader implications of these missing names extend beyond Diddy's trial. If Owens and Vaughn are correct, their absence could point to a systemic effort to protect powerful figures in the entertainment industry. Past cases, like that of Harvey Weinstein, show how initial focus on a single individual can expand to reveal a network of enablers and silent bystanders. In Diddy's case, the introduction of these names could trigger a similar ripple effect, prompting new investigations and shaking up the industry. Social media is already abuzz with speculation as fans and skeptics dig into old interviews, photos, and business deals that hint at deeper connections. This public curiosity could pressure legal teams and media outlets to address these omissions, potentially altering the trial's trajectory. As the case unfolds, the question remains, will these missing names surface? And if so, how will they reshape the narrative? Owens believes they hold critical truths that could redefine the trial, while Vaughn's comments suggest that those in the shadows know more than they're letting on. The media's hesitation to explore these connections only fuels suspicion, leaving audiences to wonder what's being left unsaid. Whether these figures are deliberately shielded or simply overlooked, their absence is a glaring gap in a case already fraught with complexity. As speculation grows, the truth may hinge on whether these names are finally brought to light, and what they reveal could change everything we think we know about Diddy's trial.